Good morning, Wright State University, and welcome to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU. Start your day the right way with us. We will be covering current events in the news, local, national, and from Wright State. We will provide a daily dose of inspiration and positivity to lighten your day. And we will have a special feature depending on the day of the week. So grab your tea or your coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Wright Morning Show. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. It is Tuesday, June the 15th, 2021. In the studio with me, I have Scotty Kramer. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Pat. It's good to be here. A little tired. I had to go back to work last night, but I'm here. I'm alive, and I'm glad to be on the show as always, man.
Awesome. So it looks like it's just going to be the two of us today. Laffy, Chimlock, and Harmony are both not able to join us today, which is all right. Two's better than one, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You got me to talk to today, bro.
All right. So we're going to get right into our current events, shall we? And this is pretty big news from WHIO. The owner of Dayton Mall and the mall at Fairfield Commons files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The owner group that manages the Dayton Mall and the mall at Fairfield Commons, so both malls actually.
Wow, both? I thought it was just the Fairfield Commons one.
I thought it was too. Has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the company announced on Sunday. Washington Prime Group runs both malls in the Miami Valley. The COVID-19 pandemic has created significant challenges for many companies, including Washington Prime Group, making a Chapter 11 filing necessary to reduce the company's outstanding indebtedness, a statement read. Throughout the restructuring process, the company remains committed to serving as a preeminent operator of retail town centers and will continue to serve its guests. So, sounds like Chapter 11 is not going to put it out of business. It's just going to help with debt consolidation from the sounds of it.
So do you know the definition of Chapter 11 bankruptcy?
No, I do not. I can look it up.
I got it right here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's because I didn't know, so I wanted to look it up and find out.
Even if I didn't know, or even if I did know, I would probably have you tell our guests, because some of them probably don't know.
Yeah, so this chapter of the Bankruptcy Code generally provides for reorganization, usually involving a corporation or partnership. The Chapter 11 debtor usually purposes a plan of reorganization to keep its business alive and pay creditors over time. People in business or individuals can also seek relief in Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot of reorganization within the mall. Possibly some shops going in, some shops going out. Maybe we might see some relocations. I'm not too sure.
I think a lot of it is like internal in terms of like reorganizing the CEOs and the way that the malls are managed. I think that's the big one with Chapter 11.
Yeah, that's probably what it is going to be. More of like I guess more of a higher up kind of thing, rather than shops and stuff. But I believe that's within the category as well, with actual business reorganization.
Yeah, so Scotty and I were talking about this before the show began, and we were quite surprised because, both these malls, they get a lot of people, and not only that, but they still got their anchor stores. So yeah. I was surprised that they took as big of a hit as they say they did. So, I'm surprised and not surprised at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it happening, but still, like, with all of the people who go to that mall, it's still kind of surprising.
Like I said, I was at work last night, and right at 11 o'clock for the 11 o'clock news, I saw it, and I was like, man, I go to that mall all the time. Yeah. What the heck, right? Like, I was a little PO'd, right? I was a little mad. But at first I thought it was like, going out of business, because I didn't understand Chapter 11 bankruptcy yet. But no, still, that's crazy. Pretty big news here in the Dayton area.
Yeah. So here's a quote directly from the Washington Prime Group. The company will utilize Chapter 11 to implement a comprehensive and consensual financial restructuring of the company's corporate-level debt that will allow the company to substantially deleverage its balance sheet and strengthen its business and operations going forward, either through a full equitization of the company's unsecured notes or an alternative value maximizing transaction that would repay in full, in cash, all of the company's corporate level debt. The company also said it secured $100 million in new money debtor in possession financing to support day-to-day operations during the Chapter 11 process to ensure business runs uninterrupted. So they're going to try really hard to make sure that the bankruptcy does not impact the actual operation of the mall, which is good.
I feel like they could do very well with that. Like we said, they get a lot of good business. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they, the COVID pandemic has really affected, as we say probably once a day, affected a lot of businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, malls are no exception. They, even though they're kind of busy now, they're going to probably recover a lot faster than some of these, smaller businesses. They still took a pretty big hit. So I think within the next couple of years, we'll be back and fine for the Fairfield Commons Mall. But at the moment, took a bit of a hit right in the chest. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to take a minute to recover.
Yeah. From the Fairborn Daily Herald, Hometown Heroes banners recognize local vets. From Memorial Day until the weather turns cold, Hometown Heroes banners displaying the names, photos, and service dates of Fairborn veterans will be on display in Fairborn's historic downtown. The Fairborn Military Veterans Memorial Project honors past and present military personnel from Fairborn, Fairfield, Osborne, Bath Township, and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base through the Hometown Heroes Banner Program. The inaugural year of banners for Hometown Heroes includes 21 people ranging from World War II to the modern day. It's something close to our hearts to get done, especially since we're close to the base, said Terry Burkert, Fairborn Military Veterans Memorial Project Committee co-chair. Each banner, created by TCA Graphics, includes the name, branch of service, and photo of each military member and are hung on city street lamps from Memorial Day to Veterans Day. They will go up again next year during the same time period before they are taken down and given to veterans and their families. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so over in New Lebanon, right there on the border of Montgomery County, they have the same thing. They have the memorials of the fallen veterans, and I think they still have a couple current ones who are still alive. Yeah, I'm glad you turned that off.
That flickering was bothering me. I have photosensitive epilepsy, so I got to be careful about that.
Yeah, no, I kept noticing it too. But over in New Lebanon, when I drive home every day, when I drive to and from here, I always see them. So it's nice to see that coming to the Fairborn area. But over in New Lebanon, they have it 365, 24/7, 365. I've seen it for as long as I can remember. They're up there at the top. They're pretty much all the way down halfway down 35 in New Lebanon. So now they respect their veterans quite a bit. So shout out to the New Lebanon over there. I think they're still in Montgomery County. It's right next to the border of Preble and Montgomery, so I always think it's in Preble. But big shout out to them. That's really cool.
Yeah. From WHIO, $20,000 is being offered for info on an armed robbery of a letter carrier in Dayton. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service and the Dayton Police Department are asking the public for help identifying a suspect who robbed a letter carrier. The armed robbery took place on June 7th around 5:45 p.m. in the 1700 block of Kipling Drive, according to police. The suspect showed a handgun and stole postal property, police said. Police say the suspect is a 20-year-old man, 5'7" to 5'8" tall, who is wearing a red and black hoodie, black shorts, and gold-colored shoes. Bruh, if you can afford gold-colored shoes, you shouldn't be out there robbing people.
Who knows? He probably stole it. He could have stole those too.
Yeah, those are probably stolen as well. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service is offering a reward of up to $20,000 for information that could help lead to the arrest and conviction of the suspect. Anyone with information is asked to call the U.S. Postal Inspection Service at 1-877-876-2455 and say law enforcement. I'm going to read that out again for you. 1-877-876-2455 and say law enforcement. Police said all information will be kept confidential. A vehicle dives into a building on East 5th Street in Dayton, according to WDTN. A car drove into a building on East 5th Street in Dayton yesterday. Montgomery County Regional Dispatch told 2 News that a call came in around 5:23 p.m. reporting a Chrysler that drove into a building at 318 East 5th Street. That data indicates that the address belongs to Omega Music. Oh, crap. They busted into Omega Music. That's a great shot.
Let me look at. I feel like I heard that, and I feel like I was just there like 2 or 3 months ago. Hold on.
2 News crews at the scene report no damage to the building. That's good, because Omega Music is a huge staple to the Oregon district.
I was literally just there like 2 or 3 months ago. I was buying some vinyls for my buddy for his birthday.
Yeah.
I thought that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, Omega Music's huge on selling vinyls.
Yeah, like I said, I was literally just there a few months. I heard the name. I'm like, wow. Now that shop is really cool too. Hopefully they didn't do too much damage, other than obviously the part where they drove through.
Yeah. So the like I said, the article says that no damage was reported to the building, which is good.
Oh, awesome. So, okay, I didn't hear that part because I was looking it up.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That's such a coincidence.
All right, here's Triple P's bad pun of the day. You know what car holy people drive? They drive Chryslers.
All right. Oh, I like that, though.
All right, from the Cincinnati Enquirer. Those are no raisins. Dayton restaurant gets attention for its cicada pizza. We've talked about this before.
Talked about it yesterday, right?
Yeah, this is from a different news source, though. So we're going to go ahead and read this. This is from Cincinnati.com. After you get past the goo and the crunch, it's pretty good. At least that's what a member of the tasting panel for Dayton's The Pizza Bandit had to say about the eatery's recent cicada pizza experiment. Yes, cicadas. The Ohio restaurant was recently featured on CNN and MSNBC for the insect offering, which chef James Burton putting his culinary skills to work Sunday, incorporating the bugs into a Thai-themed pizza. In addition to the cicadas, it was topped with miso hoisin, sriracha sauce, mango, mushroom, cabbage, green onion, cilantro, mozzarella, provolone, and spicy Thai sauce. The restaurant wrote on its Facebook page, "From a distance, this pie looks delightful, but once you get closer, you realize those are no raisins." You can read more at Cincinnati.com. From WHIO, Amazon delivery driver is arrested in Kettering and pleads guilty to an OVI charge. An Amazon delivery driver was arrested for earlier this year at the Kettering McDonald's near Wilmington Pike and Dorothy Lane and has pleaded guilty to OVI charges, online records show. Jesse LaForge, 34, of Oakwood, changed his plea to guilty on the charge last month. LaForge ended up being sentenced to 2 years probation and was given a suspended jail sentence, which means he doesn't have to serve the time unless he violates probation. Police responded to the restaurant in early March after receiving a report around noon of a driver in an Amazon truck possibly intoxicated going through the drive-thru of the restaurant, said Kettering Police Lieutenant Lee Sanders. Amazon is looking into the matter, and all packages were delivered with no delays to customers, the spokesperson for Amazon said. The company has not provided an update on LaForge's status with the company. You can read more at WHIO.com. Dayton Daily News gives an update on the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base construction, so be sure to check that out. They also have an article about a Fairborn man who was indicted on multiple counts of rape in a Dayton case. I believe that was the same person who was indicted on rape counts here at Wright State University. And according to the Guardian newspaper, he received some prison time. So I think it was 3 counts, if I'm not mistaken. He was charged on 3 counts of rape and sexual assault. So I'm glad to hear that justice was served for this person. For WHIO, University of Dayton builds a campus vaccination rate by offering incentives and prizes. The University of Dayton announced yesterday morning an incentive to help increase the college community's vaccination rate. University officials say they are making steady progress toward its Build Immunity in Our Community challenge, but more is needed. The goal is to have 70% of the campus vaccinated by fall semester. According to the school, every Tuesday and Thursday in June, anyone who has vaccination cards and has been uploaded has a chance to win prizes such as UD swag, tickets, parking passes, gift cards, and more. Not entirely sure what they mean by being uploaded. That's an interesting way to word the article. Some examples of these prizes include a $100 bookstore gift card, President Spina's parking spot. Interesting. You could take the president's parking spot. And a UD Arena suite. Ooh. Get a suite and watch the Flyers. Nice.
That'd be pretty cool. I've actually been to a Dayton Flyers game yet. My boss for Cats, he's my he's still one of my supervisors technically. Anyways, he told me that he bought season tickets last year, I believe it was, or 2 years ago. Every year he buys season tickets with his buddies, and he always goes and he would go watch UD play. So I've always wanted to go watch UD play. So
yeah. Names will be drawn at random to select students, faculty, and staff whose vaccine cards have been uploaded at a chance of getting a prize. For more information, you could go to udayton.edu. There's a direct link at Cox Media Group. And I'm having a little bit of mask issues today. This mask keeps falling down. But luckily, I won't have to wear it next week.
Yeah, right.
So I got my second vaccine last week. Sorry. All right, continuing on. Let's see here. The Dayton Business Journal talks about Gem City Selfie Museum, which gears up for opening. That's also one of those paywall sites. So if you want to read about that, you can go to the Dayton Business Journal. From the Dayton Jewish Observer, Israel-Hamas conflict spills over to a Dayton restaurant menu. When Coco's Bistro co-owner Karen Wick-Gagnet reopened her dining room as the COVID pandemic waned, she decided to include listings of organizations to learn about and support through donation on her spring and summer menu printed in mid-May. One of the 3 organizations she included on the menu was the Palestinian Youth Movement. The description on the menu, taken from PYM's website, refers to itself as a transnational independent grassroots movement of young Palestinians in Palestine and in exile worldwide as a result of the ongoing Zionist colonization and occupation of our homeland. Our belonging to Palestine and our aspirations for justice and liberation motivate us to assume an active role as a young generation in our national struggle for the liberation of our homeland and people. In an interview with The Observer, Wick-Gagnet said she had no idea the statement would offend her Jewish customers, that she was unaware the language strongly implies elimination of the Jewish state of Israel. On email chains and Facebook posts, some of Coco's Jewish patrons said they will not be returning to the restaurant. After meeting with representatives of the Jewish Federation on June the 1st, Wick-Gagnet took the PYM item off for print in an online spring and summer menu. I've heard from people on social media, Facebook, and a couple of phone calls, Wick-Gagnet said. I turned off my Facebook because I can't. I'm going to have a nervous breakdown when I'm calling people. People have used some pretty inflammatory language towards me. Abomination. I'm an abomination. That's the big one that sticks out. I'm anti-Semitist. That's been used a lot. Wick-Gagnet says she is devastated that she hurt so many people. Coco's has always been a space and a place for me that embodies love and peace and inclusivity, and I want to meet people where they are. I would never hurt anybody ever. I missed the whole thing in a way. I should have been more responsible. Wick-Gagnet said her 25-year-old daughter, the restaurant's namesake, suggested she include PYM on the menu based on issues around food and water and humanitarian things as a result of what she read is happening with some of the children. You can read more at DaytonJewishObserver.org. But what are your thoughts, Scotty? Do you think that a listing like that, do you think the offense to the Jewish community is justified for having a listing like that?
I'm not too sure. I don't really want to speak out on it too much, honestly.
I'm not so sure either. I think there's some sort of cultural thing that we don't know that's going on.
There's a possibility. I just don't want to dive into that a little too much. You know what I mean?
Or perhaps the listing was just not worded very efficiently or something like that.
You have some people that create things and they don't have either the experience or just they made a mistake, with how they created a document or created a certain rule, etc. So it could be worded poorly. That's a possibility.
From WDTN, a motorcyclist was taken to a hospital after a Xenia crash. Greene County Regional Dispatch said that the crash happened around 1:22 p.m. yesterday near South Detroit Street and Home Avenue. The intersection will be closed several hours while law enforcement reconstruct the crash. It should be open by now. The Xenia Police Department told 2 News that the rider was not wearing a helmet. Oof.
Yeah.
At the time of the crash. That's I believe, illegal. There is no word on the extent of the rider's injuries or their condition. The cause of the crash is currently under investigation by Xenia Police and the Ohio State Highway Patrol. I can't stress this enough. Wear your helmet.
I notice a lot of people who ride Harleys and stuff. They don't wear helmets, but a lot of people that drive the faster bikes, the more speedy type of ones, if you will. Those guys usually wear bikes. they wear a bike. Wear helmets when they're on their bike. Excuse me.
I don't know if I can wear a bike.
I don't know. Your bike's pretty heavy, so I don't think you could.
I'll break my back doing that.
Yeah, right. Man, dude, I just got off work a few hours ago. You gotta give me a little bit of a break, all right? My mind's not 100% there, so I got the energy drink here, man.
That was funny.
Wear your bike.
I'm gonna give you a personal testament. Bike helmets will save your life, even when you're not wearing a bike. Because funny story, I had my bike helmet on when I was downtown, moving from one bus to another, and some idiot was trying to throw a hammer at somebody and missed, and it hit me instead. But luckily, because I had a helmet at the time, it hit my helmet. Threw a hammer, or an actual hammer, yeah.
What the heck?
If I wasn't wearing my helmet, I probably would have been knocked unconscious.
Man, is that a sign telling me to wear a helmet everywhere I go?
At least when you're downtown.
Right.
So after they threw the hammer, one of the transit ambassadors kicked the hammer under one of the buses so that he couldn't get to it. And then once he left the property, they retrieved the hammer, wanted me to file a police report, so I did. And that person was permanently banned from RTA property.
How long ago was that?
A couple of years ago.
Okay.
I believe it was a few years ago.
Probably before I was here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah. I was about to say, I've never heard it. I never heard you talk about it. So
it was interesting. Interesting happening there.
Oh yeah, that'd be very interesting if it happened to me too. I think I would have more of a PO'd reaction than you. I don't know how you handled the situation, but I'd be pretty irritated.
What's really interesting is I had no reaction. I was just neutral the entire time. Like, oh, I got hit in the head, so what?
Dude, even if it didn't hurt me, I'd still be pretty irritated.
People were like, aren't you gonna beat him up? And I'm like, no. Why would I beat him up? What's that gonna solve?
Yeah.
That's
sometimes people get in the heat of the moment, you know what I mean? And but at the same time, I don't think I would have fought him, but I would have said some words, at least to say.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go to global and national news brought to you by Cheddar News. Some COVID-19 updates. Novavax, according to the New York Times, announced that its 2-dose vaccine is 90.4% effective against COVID and 100% effective at preventing moderate or severe disease. I think they meant symptoms, not disease. The company is not seeking emergency authorization from the FDA just yet, but some doctors think the Novavax doses will be effective booster shots. From CBS, the Delta variant. Former FDA Director Scott Gottlieb believes the Delta variant will be the dominant source of new infections in the U.S., especially as we edge closer to fall. It's 60% more transmissible and can lead to more severe symptoms. Gottlieb said those who have received at least one vaccine dose are protected. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is extending restrictions until mid-July as Brits battle the variant. I read news about that. So the UK is now on lockdown until mid-July. Boris Johnson extended the lockdown, which is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, for real. Especially here in the US when everything's kind of chilling out.
Yeah, like Canada and the UK have been having a hard time.
Yeah, I'm surprised, like, out of all places to ease up, the US has been...
Especially with all of the anti-maskers that we've had.
Yeah, I mean, especially where I'm from, I don't, like, know a bunch of people. I've seen a lot of people that, like, even during the pandemic and the vaccine wasn't even out yet, people just wouldn't wear it in a lot of places. But that's where I'm from. I'm kind of used to it. Bunch of people. I'm not going to say any more than that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interesting people, at least to say, but a lot of people that don't believe in COVID and getting the vaccine. So, like, I was a bunch of people without the mask. So there were a lot of anti-maskers, near me, back where I live.
Gun violence is on the rise, according to the Washington Post. This year is on track to have more deaths as a result of gun violence than in 2020. This past weekend, more than 120 people died in shootings. Wow, that's a lot of people in one weekend, with 3 especially dangerous incidents in Chicago, Austin, and Savannah, Georgia. So far this year, the number of shootings that have killed at least one person exceeds the total number from the first 5 months of 2020.
Wow.
From the New York Times, NATO addresses the China and Russia issue. So NATO leaders wrapped up a one-day summit where they discussed Russian threats to Europe and China's rising military ambitions. The summit called China a growing influence that can present challenges and referred to Russia's aggressive actions as a threat to Euro-Atlantic security. Some allies are concerned about President Biden's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Wednesday. They say Biden risks appearing to reward Putin with face-to-face chat. I'm not necessarily sure that's true, but believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, right.
From CBS News, Attorney General Merrick Garland said Monday that he will move swiftly regarding an investigation by the Department of Justice Inspector General into efforts by the Trump Department of Justice to seize data and communications from Congress members and their staff. Records of at least a dozen people connected to the House Intelligence Panel were seized, and federal prosecutors had also previously subpoenaed Apple for data from Representative Adam Schiff and Representative Eric Swalwell of California, both Democrats. From Reuters, mall owner Washington Prime Group filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection over the weekend. Reuters wrote about the mall incident as well. Over the weekend after the pandemic forced it to temporarily close around 100 of its shopping centers across the U.S. and businesses were unable to pay the rent. The Ohio-based company formed in 2014 after a spinoff from Simon Property Group, also a mall owner. Washington Prime says it has entered a restructuring support agreement which will deleverage their balance sheet by $950 million. From Axios, YouTube will stop showing ads for certain products and public figures in its homepage masthead ad section. Ads that feature casino and betting games, gambling-related content, alcohol sales and brandings, and political candidate endorsements will be banned. The masthead is the most sought-after advertisement spot, but frequently scrutinized. Interesting. From NPR, the U.S. is banning the importation of dogs from 100 countries for at least a year after the CDC discovered a sharp increase in the number of falsified rabies vaccination records. Oof. In 2020, the CDC found around 450 imported dogs with fraudulent rabies vaccination records. a 52% increase compared with the 2 years before. Researchers think that there is a correlation between the falsified records and the urge to purchase pandemic puppies from overseas. Pandemic puppies being in air quotes. Let's go on to some sports from Cheddar News. Sports remains one of the last programming options that fans will watch live, leading to big paydays for networks and streaming services alike, as legacy platforms go fully digital. For example, the first round of the 2021 NBA playoffs averaged 3.06 million viewers, a 46% increase from 2020. The NBA is reportedly seeking a $75 billion rights deal over a 9-year period, while the NFL has a lucrative $113 billion deal with networks and streamers over 11 years.
People watch the NFL more than the NBA. The NFL, like, football is America's sport.
Yeah.
I know they say, like, baseball is and all these others, but NFL, when it comes to viewership, NFL always gets the most, viewership. They get, like, I remember, like, the NBA Finals when they were in the bubble last year. It had, like, 6 million viewers per game in the finals, when an average NFL game has, like, 12 to 14 million. That's like a Sunday night game. You got like 12, 14 million people watching just on standard television. Just crazy.
Yeah. I noticed that, somebody, I don't know the truthfulness to this statistic, but somebody had apparently released a statistic about which wealth groups that certain sports are favored by. So, for instance, basketball is favored by the lower and middle class. Bowling is favored by the working class. Baseball is favored by more of the upper middle class. NFL is kind of middle class. And golf is definitely favored by the upper class and the wealthy, which I thought was interesting.
I feel like that is true, though. Like, a lot of people I know, I feel like they kind of determine it more by that factor. I mean, I know I'm kind of like middle class, like lower middle class maybe currently. I mean, I watch everything, though.
Yeah.
But, like, people, like, I obviously love football more than anything. I mean, I host obviously my show's not going on over the summer, but during the fall and spring, I got my show and it's football oriented. So I feel like that kind of relates.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes your current events for today. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into your weather forecast and Wright State news. So everybody stick around. You're listening to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM.
How do
And we're back to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Welcome back to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. We are now going to cover your weather forecast. So the current weather at Wright State University by tomorrow.io is clear. It is a really beautiful day out there this morning. So get out there and enjoy this crisp, clear, and nice and cool weather. It is 68 degrees outside, so very, very pleasant. The wind is coming from the north-northwest at 6 miles per hour. The humidity is 60%. The dew point is 53 degrees. The visibility is 10 miles. And the air quality is good. As I said, and I'll say it again, get out there and enjoy the really good weather this morning. Your 12-hour forecast calls for clear skies up until 1 p.m. We got some clouds that are going to roll in for a couple of hours, and then they're going to clear up again after 3 p.m. We might also have a few clouds coming back in at 6 p.m. and then clearing up again at 8 p.m. The temperatures are going to reach 70 degrees at 10 p.m., and then they're going to reach the mid-70s by 12 p.m. They're going to get up into just below 80 degrees by 3 p.m., and then it's going to start cooling off for the day at 6 p.m. Your extended weather forecast, brought to you by the National Weather Service at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, is the following. Today, mostly sunny with a high around 80. Tonight, partly cloudy, low around 50. Wednesday, sunny, high in the upper 70s. Wednesday night, mostly clear, low in the lower 50s. Thursday, sunny, high in the lower 80s. Thursday night, mostly clear, low around 60. Friday, partly sunny in the morning with a chance of thunderstorms developing in the afternoon with a high in the upper 80s. It's going to start getting warmer again on Friday. Friday night, showers likely with a low in the upper 60s. Saturday, a chance of thunderstorms with a high in the mid-80s. And finally, Saturday night, partly cloudy, and it's going to cool off a little bit more again with a low around 60. Here's your latest campus announcements brought to you by Wings. Mega City Toastmasters Club in-person open house on June the 21st. Did you ever want to improve your public speaking, leadership, and communication skills? We at Mega City Toastmasters may be able to help with that. And I know Harmony cannot join us today, but she would definitely vouch for Toastmasters because she knows a few people who have gone through Toastmasters and they've helped them tremendously with being able to speak, especially public speaking. So if you want to improve your speaking and communication skills, I would personally, check out Toastmasters. They could definitely help you with that. New lifting programs for campus recreation. We've talked about this several times. There's the Women on Weights program that began on the 10th for Tuesday and Thursday, 12:15 to 1 p.m., and Wednesday, 5:15 to 6 p.m. Women on Weights is a lifting program designed for women. They provide a safe and positive learning environment that welcomes all fitness levels and ages. Break fears, prejudices, and myths of women weightlifting and become stronger alongside a group of powerful women. An experienced, knowledgeable personal trainer will teach you safe and effective weightlifting form while also providing motivation and guidance. Also began yesterday was Learn to Lift. It is a 2-part seminar that meets twice a week for only 1 week. I'm not going to really talk about it much since it already began, and I don't believe you could sign up for it since it's a 1-week program since it started. But Women on Weights is, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Women on Weights you could still sign up for because I don't think there's an official end date to that program. The drinking water warning continues for Wright State University. It was issued last Wednesday due to possible water contamination in the Biological Sciences building. It's still in effect. Do not use the water here on campus for any reason. It also affects Hamilton Hall, but no other campus housing or dorms. If you need bottled water, you could go to 065 Allen Hall, and they could provide you some bottled water. Are you ready to take a big step forward in your career or start a new one? Consider what a Wright State MBA might mean for your future. The next open house is today at 6 p.m., so be sure to check that out. Freshman Outdoor Orientation Trip. Calling all incoming freshmen and sophomores. Join us as we hike 26 miles on the Appalachian Trails. Foot offers an amazing opportunity for incoming students to meet a small group of new classmates and establish relationships with older student leaders. It is now open to both incoming freshmen and sophomores who missed out on a classic intro to college in 2020. The trip will be August 11th to 18th. There is a cost. It includes transportation, trip leaders, equipment, permit fees, camping fees, and all meals on location. I cannot disclose the price, but you could go to your Wings account to see how much it costs. There's also a link on your Wings account to register for the program if you want to participate. All right, we're going to now go into campus news here. So first off, we're going to check out the Wright State Guardian. Wright State librarian Palanca leaves for Appalachian State University. Palanca, a part of the Wright State University staff for the past 17 years, served in multiple departments within the library, most recently as university librarian, a position she's held since 2018. Throughout her tenure at Wright State, Palanca accomplished many feats, including securing funding for upcoming Dunbar Library on the Wright State main campus and securing the President's Award for Excellence in 2019 for the Wright State Libraries. Less known is Palanca's statewide and literary work. The veteran librarian wrote the reference guide No Shelf Required, a guide to help institutions navigate the ebook market. According to her co-workers, Rand Rader, Mandy Shannon, and Chris Weidman, the ambitious leader accomplished many other projects, including winning several statewide awards, becoming president of the Academic Library Association of Ohio, and supporting the local branch of the Patent and Trademark Resource Center. She has been one of the most effective, conscientious, and compassionate directors I have ever worked with, Weidman wrote. Palanca also reportedly excels in connection and consideration. She's been my mentor since the day I started here. I know she's had influence on a lot of people, not just here at Wright State, but throughout the state, Shannon said. Although expressing she will miss Wright State, the tenacious librarian always has goals for her new position. I want to build the best academic library possible for the students and faculty at Appalachian State. I look forward to new relationships, building a strong team, and working with librarians across the state of North Carolina to improve library access for all, Palanca wrote. Palanca, starting September 13th at her new university, will serve as the Dean of University Libraries. Nice.
Pretty good title.
Yeah. Wright State has not yet named a successor for Palanca's new open position. All right, we're going to go now on to the Guardian newsroom, because that's the only new piece of news that the Guardian has. So we're going to go right now to the newsroom. 11 people with Wright State ties named to Dayton Business Journal's 40 Under 40. 11 people with Wright State connections, including the chair of economics and an events director at the university, were named to the Dayton Business Journal's 2021 40 Under 40 list of the honored as the region's future leaders. It marks the 24th year of the journal that has recognized the region's brightest young professionals. More than 200 people were nominated. Honorees include Andrew Beauchamp, PhD professor and chair of the Department of Economics in the Roche Soin College of Business. Beauchamp, who joined the faculty, in 2015, teaches different areas of applied microeconomics, which includes topics such as fertility, crime, retirement, and marriage. Also named to 40 Under 40 was Nick Warrington, the Director of Events and Community Engagement for the College of Liberal Arts and a 2012 graduate of Wright State. Warrington, who served as Assistant Director of Alumni Relations for 5 years, was tapped in 2019 to oversee Arts Gala, Wright State's annual premier arts event and fundraiser. 9 other Wright State alumni were 40 under 40 list, such as Greg Allen, Willis Blackshear, Marissa D'Angelo, Tyler Greenwood, Jessica Lopez, Jennifer Papadakis, Brianna Snyder, Matthew Wadsworth, and Nathaniel Wynn. Previous honorees selected for the 40 under 40 Hall of Fame by the Dayton Business Journal's editorial board were Wright State alumni Muhammad Al-Hamdani, Erica Fields, and Andy Platt. You can read more at the Wright State Guardian newsroom. The Wright State newsroom. Why am I getting the two mixed up? By going to webapps2.wright.edu. We're going to move into freeform now. And Scotty, Harmony had something that you should check out.
All right.
So Harmony says, like I said, Harmony was not able to join us today, but she says to check out the Aries Capital stock. It's really promising, and they do dividends.
All right, let me look. Does she have a... Okay, Aries Capital. Let me go ahead and check this. Ooh, I see that I just had a massive dip. Went down about... So since about 4 days ago, it was sitting at about $20, and then now it's down to $19.54.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are buying right now. 85% of the analysts say that the 85% buy right now. Look at it's been climbing recently. It's gone up about I think it's been about 40 cents within the last month.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fluctuating a little bit here and there, sticking between $18 and $20. In the past year, though, it's gone up about $5. So I'll have to do my research in my free time, but shout out to Harmony for that information. I'll have to go ahead and take a look at it once the show's over. Obviously, I don't want to spend all of our free form just sitting here staring at my phone, but no, it's really cool, though. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to have to do some more research when once we're off the air here today, Pat.
So, Scott, how's the Scotty Stock watch? Wow, that is a tongue twister.
Scotty Stocks? Scotty Stock watch? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mention what I've been looking at, et cetera, et cetera. So, like I said, BlackBerry, they've made a lot of cool deals recently with a $60 to $70 billion deal with Amazon.
Nice.
They have very good cybersecurity software, so I'm surprised they haven't blown up recently. Usually right at the beginning of the day, right when the market opens at 9:30 in the morning, right when we're live here on the morning show. That's why I'm always looking at my phone a lot. I want to keep an eye. It's just now shooting back up. It just dipped down right when the market opened. It dipped down to about $13.64. Well, as I'm talking, it's shooting up, as you can see here, Pat. It's going right back up to about $14.05.
You're talking them back into some positives.
Yeah, exactly. Usually right when the market opens up, it dips down, but then it shoots right back up. So a lot of times people, right when the market opens up, try to throw some money in there sometimes because there's some dips, sometimes it rises as well. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Snap, sticking at about $62 per usual. Microsoft is about $260, but I want to talk about some that have been kind of shooting up recently. Like I said, AMC, they were at about $40 earlier this week. I believe it was on June 10th, June 9th. They were at about $40. They're at about $60 now. Big jump.
Nice.
So a lot of people have been using this as kind of meme stock, if you will. Shooting up about $20. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, let's say you have like 1,000 shares in that. I mean, you have a bunch of money now. I think you have about 20 grand from that? Something like that. It's pretty crazy. So AMC shot up. GameStop, like I mentioned yesterday, it's shot down. Earlier this week, it was at about $320, which I believe is the highest that it has been since January of this year. It's down to $222 right now. So maybe we'll see GameStop shoot back up, but at the moment, it's taking about a $100 dip. So hopefully you sold at $320 unless you want to keep holding for longer and see if the value goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at some others, Workhorse sitting at about $14.57. One that I've seen a lot of people talk about and wanted to get invested in is Context Logic. Basically, they're a company. As I pull it up here, is a online marketplace that includes geek kind of stuff, mama home, cute, joyful shopping. It's founded back in 2010. Recently, the value's gone up. Looking at about the past year, the listing was created in 2020. Started off at about $20. The highest peak it was at since listing was about 30 something dollars. Taking a massive dip. It's now at $11.98 as we speak. But a lot of people started investing in back when it was at about $7. So they've almost seen a double over there. So a lot of people buy a bunch of shares of that and have almost doubled their profit if they invested back when it was at about $7. So there's a lot of stuff going on there with the meme stock. That's what stuff I've been trying to keep up with because it's a you look at Reddit and a lot of people are like, oh, invest in this because of this, this, and this, and you got a lot of I don't want to say idiots, but you got a lot of people throwing money in one place. The value's surely going to go up, right? You got a lot of people with a bunch of money throwing money in. Hop on the train a little bit, you have some fun. Some other companies to look out for, obviously Apple. Tesla been sticking at about $600 recently. Earlier this month, on June 3rd, we saw Tesla shoot back down to $572. And also last month in May, it was about $563. Tesla was valued at about $762 on my birthday, April 13th. And that's the highest that it's been in a while, other than back in January when it was at almost $1,000. It was at $880. So Tesla's still in that little bit of a down slope. They've been pretty quiet recently, so I expect Tesla to kind of stay at where it's at for a few months. Other than that, not too much news going on within the stock market. Bitcoin's still sitting at about 40K. Doge at 32, Ethereum at 2,500. Those are the big three that I see right now in the cryptos, and not much has changed in the past couple of days. So, I talk about this daily, so I don't have way too many updates, but Scotty Stocks here on WWSU 1069.
I know I did hear this. I don't know if it was recent or not, but there's apparently a way for you to be able to play games inside a Tesla. Like they have
Hopefully not while you're driving.
No, it's for the passenger. It's not for the driver.
They got like the auto drive too, so I feel like you can kind of do that, but that still wouldn't be smart in my opinion.
No, it's for the passenger, but apparently there's an inbuilt gaming console inside the Tesla along with a GPU and everything, which is pretty interesting.
I know they have like the custom horn, like you could put a USB into like the big iPad thing that's sitting there, right? And you could import your own sounds for the horn. So it's like a normal horn at first, but then it plays the sound. So like you could like I don't know, like have like a baby whining or something like after you hit your horn, right? That'd be kind of weird though. I don't think I'd want that as a car horn though. Because imagine you hit it and like you hear the baby crying, like you think you just hit a kid or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
that may
you
be
can like
bad.
input your own sounds on there. I saw this guy on on TikTok or something, maybe Instagram, and he would like input his own sounds into it. So I know there was one where he hit the horn. It was a normal horn, and then it was the GTA San Andreas like song, right? I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, man, if I ever become rich, I am definitely buying a Tesla just so I can have a custom horn like that. That is so cool.
That's funny.
Plus, they're really nice vehicles, in my opinion.
If you want to get into a lot of trouble, you could put the Russian national anthem on
Oh
it.
gosh, man! From where I'm from, Preble County, if I did that, man, I would. I don't know if I'd be alive.
All right. So this is an interesting topic. Gossip. Is it actually good for you? So it is estimated that 14% of our daily conversation are ones in which we gossip. Traditionally, we hear that it's bad to gossip, but a new paper in Current Biology suggests that gossiping may help us strengthen suggestions. So let's check out this article. So complex language and communication is one of the unique hallmarks that distinguishes humans from most other animals. Interestingly, the overwhelming majority of our communication consists of social topics involving self-disclosure and discussions about others, broadly construed as gossip. Yet the precise social function of gossip remains poorly understood, as researchers have been heavily influenced by folk institutions, narrowly casting gossip as baseless trash talk. Using a novel empirical paradigm that involves real interactions between a large sample of participants, we provide evidence that gossip is a rich, multifaceted construct that plays a critical role in vicarious learning and social bonding. We demonstrate how the visibility or lack thereof of others' behavior shifts conversational content between self-disclosure and discussions about others. Social information acquired through gossip aids in vicarious learning, directly influencing future behavior and impression formation. At the same time, conversation partners come to influence each other, form more similar impressions, and build robust social bonds. Consistent with prior work, gossip also helps promote cooperation in groups without a need for formal sanctioning mechanisms. Although these findings demonstrate the rich and diverse social functions and effects of the ubiquitous human behavior and lay the groundwork for future investigations. So that is the summary of this paper. And if you want to read the full research paper, you could go to cell.com. You could read all of the results and their testing methods and things like that if you want as well. So I thought that was pretty interesting. What are your thoughts, Scotty?
I always think that I don't know if it really changed my outlook on it. I really think that gossip is mostly more of a poor thing. You know what I mean? Because everybody does it. You know what I mean? It's if you don't gossip, then you're crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never met someone who hasn't been like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the statistic that it listed as well of doing it like what was it, like 11% of the day or something like that?
14%.
14% of the day. It depends on the day. You know what I mean? Like me at Walmart, I don't talk at all, so it depends. But no, I view me personally from all of my experience with hearing gossip, it's been mostly a poor thing, more of a negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Either if it's something embarrassing about someone or just talking about, oh, this person didn't do this at their job today, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, I guess in some ways it could be somewhat positive because it could affect others in a positive way. But I feel like in most instances, it's going to be like negative towards at least one person. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be like, for example, like I'll just pull an example. Let's say I am working at, I don't know, some fast food chain, right? And let's say we were cleaning up for the night, right? We just closed and this one person forgot to do this thing. And I'm reporting it and I'm talking about, oh, I'm kind of mad at this person because they didn't do this, right? That's gossip, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could, ultimately that could affect us in a positive way because let's say it was something major and they got fired for it. That's going to affect them in a poor way, but it's going to affect me if I didn't like that person, at least. It's going to affect me in a good way because now that task could get done that they were unable to perform because they either forgot or just didn't want to do it, etc. I don't know.
Yeah, we've had incidences of that. I mean, I'm not just calling out WWSU radio, but we've had
you work here, man. Don't throw some dirt on us, right?
But, well, I am going to add that this happens pretty much in any kind of workplace.
Yeah, anywhere. I mean, where I work now at Walmart, right? And I obviously work here too. At Walmart, it happens all the time. I mean, it happens every shift. And, I try to stay out of it. Like I said, I put my headphones in. I don't talk to anybody. I do my thing, you know what I mean? But it happens at every place of employment in some way or another. Maybe it doesn't happen every day, but, it happens.
Yeah. So when should we steer clear of gossip? What do you think? So we've been talking about, there may be a few instances where gossip is good, but when should we refrain from gossip?
If it's going to just negatively impact somebody, like in a very drastic way. I feel like if you're going to say something that's going to, make them lose their job or something like that, that's definitely you should refrain from doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I would say unless if they're doing actual damage to the company
but
or something like that.
If it's something like, I don't even know what to list. But it's like, or
this person does this in the bathroom during their lunch break.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, something like that. It's kind of stupid, right? I'm not going to snitch on them for that. Yeah.
This person likes DC instead of Marvel. How dare they?
Yeah, I don't know. I just prefer not to gossip in general. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes I think it could be an okay thing, but for the most part, it's usually poor. It's, you're usually just talking crap about someone when you're gossiping. That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's okay to have constructive criticism and everything, etc. But I don't know. I mainly see it as a poor thing to do.
We should try and drag Mackenzie on the show. We still haven't been able to get her on. We will. That's going to be one of our goals here at the Wright Morning Show is to drag the chief editor of The Guardian.
No, we'll get her eventually, man. We got this all summer long, right?
All right, we're going to unfortunately, we do have to take our top of the hour break. So when we come back, it will be time for our daily inspiration. So everybody stick around. You're listening to The Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of
Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Welcome back to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. It is time for your daily inspiration.
Oh gosh, Pat, what happened, bro?
I love it. Today's topic directly coincides with our free-form discussion. A 10-minute practice to help curb the thrill of gossiping.
All right.
Let's do this. This is perfect. Okay, so this is written by Eric Langsher from mindful.org. It's also written by Nate Klemp. The stories we tell about others may or may not be true, and telling them often involves a subtle breach of integrity. We live in a political moment where we don't just disagree about matters of policy, we disagree about reality. To some degree, this has always been the case. Writing in 1922, the American philosopher Walter Lippmann described the modern human condition as one of living in pseudo-environments. mental worlds that define our values, beliefs, and opinions. As a result, he observed that citizens live in the same world, but they think and feel in different ones. Nearly 100 years later, we are experiencing this type of polarization like never before. 24-hour cable news, Facebook, blogs, Twitter, and the fracturing of media have made it so that we can each filter our news, entertainment, and social interactions to reinforce our existing beliefs and shield ourselves from oppositional views, not to mention the fake news that are deliberately trying to separate us. This catchphrase has come to define the modern moment, fake news. Anything that doesn't fit with our reality is now seen as unreal, make believe, and at the same time, some of the news in our feeds is actually made up. These are crazy days. There's a serious conversation to be had about how to restructure the media and political institutions to mitigate this problem. In the meantime, we wanted to explore a different landscape of fake news. Sure, there are people out there consciously spreading fake news, but it's also interesting to look at how we might be doing it every day without actually recognizing it. That's right, we're talking about gossip, our ordinary habit of talking about others behind their back. Gossip is rarely based on fact, it's more of an expression of the stories we make up in our heads about other people. What is gossip? Gossip, actually, you know what? Before I read the article's definition of gossip, Scotty, what is gossip for you?
Well, whenever I think of the word gossip, I think of just talking about. I mean, like I said earlier when we had our freeform, it's mainly just talking about someone in a negative way, without their knowledge. That's the way I view gossip. But I guess for a more broad definition, I would say more like just talking about someone without their recollection, without them being aware of it. I feel like that's what gossip would be, talking about someone or something without them knowing about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same realm as well. And as the article mentioned, we do that all the time. We do it a lot.
Oh yeah, I do it. You do it. Like I said earlier, everybody does it, whether they know it or not. And I'm
Yeah,
like, if you don't do it, then praise to you, right?
yeah,
Like I've never met someone who hasn't gossiped, right?
yeah. And I mean, sometimes gossip is necessary when you're in the workplace. I mean, within limits, of course. But sometimes, like
Yeah,
if you need to report somebody, of course you're not going to tell them that you're going to report
exactly.
them. So technically, it's gossiping.
Yeah, no, that's like I said. In some instances, it's okay, but for the most part, it's more of a negative thing, in my opinion.
Hmm. So back to mindful. What is gossip? Gossip can be defined in a number of ways. Webster's defines it as rumor or report of an intimate nature. In the book, The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, the authors define gossip as any statement about another that the speaker would be unwilling to share in exactly the same way if that person were in the same room. That's an interesting take on the definition. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
This definition points to the contextual nature of gossip. If I tell my coworker Genia that Dave's feedback on my presentation today was incredibly disrespectful, it may or may not be gossip. If I don't share this feedback with Dave, then it's a clear case of gossip. But if I do share it with Dave with the same emotional tone, it's not gossip.
Hmm.
Why bring greater awareness to gossip? After all, it's often entertaining and even pleasurable to talk about the faults of celebrities, political leaders, or that person in your social circle who drives you crazy. We all know we have one of those people in our social circles.
High school, man, that's all it is gossip, and the social aspect that is.
Yeah.
Especially when you went to a small high school like me, all it was gossip, man.
Another reason is that gossip often involves a subtle breach of integrity. In the language of the philosopher Immanuel Kant, when we gossip about someone, we're treating them as a mere means to our own sense of pleasure or superiority. If I tell a humiliating story about someone, I'm using their misfortune as a way to generate laughter, titillate my audience, or make myself feel like I'm better than them. While it may be pleasurable in the moment, it almost always leaves a moral stain. For the speaker of gossip, there's a subtle feeling of guilt that arises. For the people that's listening, There's a sense of distrust that follows in the wake of gossip. If he talks about that way about others when they're not in the room, they're left thinking, how does he talk about me when I'm not in the room? Need proof? Conduct a quick experiment. In your next interaction with a friend or colleague, dish out some juicy negative tidbit about a mutual colleague or acquaintance and check in to see how you feel. If they respond in kind, notice how you feel about their trustworthiness and the strength of your relationship. If we were not publicly on the airwaves right now, I would be up for doing that exercise. But we are on the air and everything we say can be heard by other people. That look on your face, Scotty. That's funny.
Yeah. I'll keep my mouth shut too, man.
Well, there is. I suppose we can do the exercise without identifying who the person is that we're talking
I
about.
wouldn't even do it
You're not
because
gonna do it?
if I did it, you would know exactly who I'm talking about. So no, I'm
I
not.
would,
Yeah, maybe.
because nobody comes to mind in my head.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm not
continuing
gonna.
on,
I'm
we're
not
not
gonna
gonna
do
do
it,
it.
man.
Yeah.
I'd rather not here on the airways, bro. I'd like to keep keep everything professional in mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, bringing awareness to gossip. So, how can we become more aware of gossip? The key is mindfulness, training the skill of notice,
See me.
shift, rewire each time they're tempted to gossip or each time they begin gossiping. This awareness takes two forms: awareness of speech and awareness of listening. So, first off, awareness of speech. The practice here is simple. Notice when you feel the urge to say something negative about another person, a friend, a coworker, or even a political figure.
Political figure, man. There's so many people I would not be able to do that.
You know, when it comes to political figures, they are, public figures. So it's hard for me to care. I'm going to be bluntly honest with you. It's hard for me to care about not gossiping about public figures.
I mean,
They're
you got
public.
that you literally have to. I mean, they do it with each other, obviously, because they're competing with each other. But at the same time, they're also working together. It's crazy.
And when you notice, pay attention to the physical sensations of gossip. We have found that the urge to gossip often corresponds to an energetic state, a subtle pattern of sensations in the body. In fact, the urge to gossip is, in many ways, similar to the urge to read about gossip in the form of celebrity tabloids or political chatter. Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen those freaking tabloids? Excuse me, I almost said the F word on air. I'm glad I caught myself there. Have you ever seen those tabloids in the grocery store every time you're going to the checkout aisle and be like, oh, this celebrity just recently had a baby and neglected them? Or,
yeah, and they put them in the the impulse buy area.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I have never seen anyone buy those, but yes, I have seen them. Mainly, I would see them in Kroger back when obviously magazines are kind of, I wouldn't say irrelevant now, but they're not used as much because we have more access to the internet. But when I was about, 5 to 10 years old, I saw them all the time. Yeah, and it would always be like, oh, this celebrity's pregnant with whose baby? And all this kind of, it's like, bro, really? Like, who the F cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do look at the cooking ones, though. Those are pretty cool.
That was probably pretty informative.
Yeah. And that's not necessarily gossip, unless if you're talking about putting drywall mixture into a cake or something like that. Then
I mean, like I said, you don't really see those magazines much now because we have the internet, but it's more utilized by the average person.
Yeah.
I think the only people that would probably buy those magazines are people who still don't use the internet, super old people. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I haven't seen it. Like I said, I haven't seen anyone buy those magazines in years.
I haven't seen anybody buy them either.
Yeah, right. I don't even see it. Like when I work at Walmart, I never see them.
If I had a choice between a tabloid and a Kit Kat bar, I would go for the Kit Kat bar.
10 out of 10 times, man, for real.
Going back to the article here.
We keep getting off base too much.
Celebrity tabloids and political chatter. In both cases, we're drawn to the momentary burst of pleasure that arises from speaking or hearing gossip. And yet, it's a behavior that is always unsatisfying, leaving us with the desire for more. Noticing the urge to gossip opens the space to shift your speech. This could be as simple as not saying anything at all, or refraining your statement or something you would be willing to share with the other person while were they in the room? The shift might also be to follow through on the urge to gossip, but to do it with awareness, to gossip consciously. This sounds strange, but you may find that it's impossible and at times undesirable to get rid of all gossip. And, as we've mentioned, there are a few instances where gossip is important. If somebody's destroying your organization or your business, you got to report them to stop the sabotage. That's one
Sometimes
example.
it's worth the sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In conversations with your spouse or partner, for instance, saying things about others that you wouldn't share with them in the room might play an essential role in building trust and intimacy with your partner. Yeah, I don't know about that though. I don't know. Maybe, but maybe not. That seems a little fishy to me. Doing that, but
I don't know. It depends on how your relationship is too.
yeah. Talking through a difficult situation with another family member or a problem at work, for example, may require talking candidly about others in ways that you would not were this person be in the room. Okay, so that part makes sense.
Oh yeah. Now, there's been days where I've been pretty PO'd from work, and I'd go home
Mhm,
and I'd be like, "Oh, I had to do this, this, and this person didn't even do this." You know what I mean? They just sat on
mhm.
their butt. I've done that before.
Yeah. So in these cases, the goal might not be to end gossip, but to simply be more aware and mindful about that. And the final move is to rewire, savor the experience of bringing greater awareness to this ordinary habit of gossip. Number two, awareness of listening. Even if we refrain from gossip, we will undoubtedly encounter it in the speech of others, whether it's neighbors, coworkers, or family members. Gossip is so common that it's impossible to avoid. Awareness of listening is the practice of noticing gossip whenever it arises in conversations with others. Of course, this leads to an important question. When we notice the person we're talking to gossiping, what are we to do and how are we to respond? The authors of the 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership liken this situation to a game of ping pong. The speaker and the listener each hold a paddle. If a listener says he doesn't want to listen and symbolically puts down his paddle, the game is over. This is sound advice, and yet it requires discernment and skillful means to figure out how to put down your paddle without shaming the other person. It might involve injecting a positive comment into the conversation, changing the subject, or at times making the outright request to not gossip. So we're going to go ahead and do this comes with a short guided meditation. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do a little guided meditation to help us be a little bit more consciously aware of when we gossip and et cetera, et cetera. So what I want you to do is find yourself a comfortable place, preferably free from distractions. Um,
I
and
can't do that.
yeah, I mean, we're on the radio. So if you're driving or operating machinery, this may be a good time for you to turn to another station for the next 10 minutes and then come back for Trivia Tuesday.
Oh yeah, you can't miss Trivia Tuesday.
Can't
It's the
miss
best.
that.
That's the best day of the week for our show, I think.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, what I want you to do is find a comfortable seat, sitting if possible, with a straight spine.
Man, I slouch too much. I noticed. I'm sitting straight up now. I'm like, wow, I really do slouch a lot.
Close your eyes and begin by relaxing. Feel how the chair supports the weight of your body. Feel your feet as they rest against the support of the floor. Notice how you're supported by each inhale and exhale of your breath. Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to be. Let your breath move in and out effortlessly and without any attempt to control it. As you relax deeply, see if you can bring to mind a moment in the past. A moment when you heard something about a friend or a coworker, another parent at school, or a neighbor, or when you dished it out to someone else. See if you could just travel back in time to a moment like this. You could go back to your childhood if nothing is coming up for you in the recent moment. And as you call upon this moment, observe any feelings or sensations that arise as you go back to this moment in time. You might notice a mixture of emotions, such as excitement, shame, fear, or curiosity. Now, let's imagine we had the opportunity to go back in time and experience this very same moment with a slight twist. This time, think of a statement of gratitude for this person. Rather than a piece of gossip about them, think of what you would say if you were challenged to tell someone why you appreciate this person or why you're grateful for them. Imagine saying a word of appreciation instead of a word of gossip. Some examples: I appreciate this person for always being there on time and for the intensity he brings to each conversation. Or, I appreciate this family member for how passionate she is about bringing us all together. Notice again, with this statement of gratitude, what are the emotions that arise in your body? See if you can pay any close attention to any differences between the impact of gossip and the impact of gratitude in your experience. And now bring your attention back to your breath as you inhale and exhale, slowly and deeply. Bring yourself back into the room. Notice the smells, the feelings, the sounds, and the sights of the space that you are in. And when you feel ready, slowly open up your eyes. So see if you could take this experience and remain aware of the differences in emotions between gratitude and gossip. And see if you can bring this to your everyday life. And then the author also has a 24-hour gossip challenge that you can try as well. To experience firsthand, see what happens. To experience this firsthand, see what happens when you bring greater awareness to gossip over the next 24 hours. Pay special attention to your speech and the speech of those around you, and see if you can go an entire day without gossiping. You may find that this is almost impossible to eliminate gossip entirely, but that's not really the goal. The goal is to bring awareness to gossip, to notice where you are contributing to the spread of fake news, quote unquote. And this simple sense of awareness may not lead you to stop gossiping altogether, but it will help you bring greater compassion, care, and awareness into even the most ordinary conversations. So that is the article. Scotty, what do you think?
I liked it. It was pretty. I always like these. They always calm me down and chill me out. But no, it was pretty nice. I like this one. How this one specifically had a pretty good message behind it and everything. So I liked it. I thought it was pretty beneficial. I really like this one.
Yeah, I really like it too, and I like the idea of like mindful gossiping because it's often like we can reduce our amount of gossiping, but we can't necessarily stop it altogether because, as people have mentioned, there are some social reasons to gossip.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're trying to if you're venting, for instance, if you need to let out emotion and things like that. Sometimes you have to gossip, but doing so in a mindful way is the key here. So I think that was a pretty interesting look at gossip. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end our daily inspiration there. We're going to take a break on the Wright Morning Show, and when we come back, it's our favorite segment, Trivia Tuesday. So everybody stick around. You're listening to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM, and during our break, gather your friends and family around the radio for a nice game of trivia against each other. All right, we'll be back. This is a Wright State Campus Bulletin. A drinking water warning is still in effect for the Wright State University Dayton campus and Hamilton Hall dorms. This does not affect any other campus housing units. Do not use any water for any purpose from the Wright State water system. Possible contamination occurred on Wednesday, June the 9th at Biological Sciences. If you need bottled water, please go to 065 Allen Hall or contact customer care.
Pass it on.
Now's the time to stay apart. Social distancing. But I'm adding something else. Pull together. What's pulling together while we're staying apart? It's calling family to check in on them. It's waving to your neighbor. It's the things we should have been doing all along. And when this tragedy passes and we're able to come together, we'll be stronger than ever because we've already pulled together. Stay apart. Pull together.
Pass it on.
From PassItOn.com.
Pass it on.
This time of upheaval is causing me to look a little deeper inside myself, looking for some goodness. And this is what I've found. I'm more aware of my neighbor's well-being. I'm saying thanks to those who help keep my life as normal as possible. My mail carrier, my grocery cashier, my delivery person. I find myself caring about others instead of just looking out for myself. And oh, my goodness, does it feel good. Goodness is in you.
Pass it on.
From PassItOn.com.
Every day, men and women from communities across this nation serve as Reserve Citizen Airmen.
I am proud to defend our nation.
Proud to be part of a team that helps make a difference.
I am proud to be part of something larger than me.
We celebrate those who have served and those who are proudly serving in the Air Force Reserve. Our mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace.
I am proud to be a member. I am proud to protect our...
Proud to serve in the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
AFReserve.com.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again. In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Joseph Marks, and I am a motion picture major here at Wright State. And you are listening to WWSU 106.9, Dayton's Right Choice.
And we're back to the Right Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Welcome back to the Right Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. And it is time for Trivia Tuesday.
Best day of the week, right?
Yes. So June the 15th is Beer Day in the United Kingdom. So we are going to go ahead and start off with a beer quiz. And
your Euros today?
Yes.
Okay, just make sure.
What was the most popular alcoholic beverage among aristocrats in ancient Egypt? Was it wine, fermented water, beer, or rye? So what was the most popular alcoholic beverage among aristocrats in ancient Egypt? Wine, fermented water, beer, or rye? I kind of feel like it's wine, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm just going to hop with
wine.
rye. I'm going to say rye, though.
You're going to go rye?
I'm going to go rye, yeah.
Got 3 seconds left. And the answer is beer. Oh, we were all wrong.
See, I feel like wine. Like I was thinking wine as well, but I'm like, man, that just sounds too simple.
Yeah. They drank it with their meals, beer that is, at their newly developed dining tables and chairs. Next, what is the science of fermenting beer called? Is it called Saccharomyces, Saccharomycetica, Zymurgy, or Zycodica? I don't even know if I'm saying those right. Saccharomycetia, Saccharomycetica, Zymurgy, or Zycodia.
I ain't going to try to pronounce them, but I'm going to go ahead with the second one. The second one sounded right.
Yeah, I'm going to go second one as well, and we were both wrong again.
Oh, gosh, which one was it? Can you try to pronounce that one?
Zymurgy.
Okay.
Zymurgy. This is from the Greek term zumu, which means to leaven or leaven. Next one. Where is Castle Maine XXXX beer from? Australia, England, Canada, or the USA? Where is Castle Maine XXXX beer from?
I feel like you said it was
Australia,
from
England, Canada, or USA. I'm going to go with England.
You said England specifically, right? Or Europe. It's just England or whatever European area, yeah.
England, yeah.
I'm going to go with England as well.
Considering the title of this quiz.
Yeah, exactly, right.
We'll see. We'll see. We could be wrong. Yeah, we were wrong. It was Australia. It was Australia.
We're 0 for 3, Pat. Come on.
Yeah, really. Castle Maine XXXX Sparkling Ale went on sale in September of 1878. Wow, it's been around a long time. Next question. Stiegel is a relatively light beer. The Stiegel Brewery was founded in 1492. From which of these countries did Stiegel come from? Hungary, Germany, Austria, or Switzerland? That sounds like a German beer, so I'm going to go Germany.
See, I hate to be a copycat, but yeah, I'm going to go Germany too. It does sound like a German name.
I'm going to flip if we're both wrong again.
It sounds like it. I think it's German.
Yeah, so Stiegel is a relatively light beer. The Stiegel Brewery was founded in 1492. From which country was it? Hungary, Germany, Austria, or Switzerland? And time is up. Guess what? We're both wrong.
Austria. Yeah. I was thinking Germany or Austria, because I think Austria is right next to Germany.
The Stiegel Brewery is located in Salzburg. There is a restaurant attached to the brewery, so stop in to enjoy a cold Stiegel beer. That is funny.
We are doing terrible.
We're bad today.
I know.
Next one. According to legend, how do Queenslanders spell beer? Is it they don't, BERE, XXXX, or lying down? According to legend, how do Queenslanders in Australia specifically spell beer? They don't, BERE, XXXX, or lying down.
What?
I'm going with XXXX, considering that other question.
Yeah, I'm going to as well, but that question is weird.
It is a weird question. A few seconds left. Quadruple X sounds like a porno, if you ask me.
That's what I kept thinking.
We finally got one right. It is XXXX.
There we go. Nice.
XXXX beer is produced by Castlemaine Brewery in Queensland and produces a wide range of lagers. According to the joke, Queenslanders are unable to spell beer and use 4 X's instead. Next question. Cascade First Harvest was a very rare beer made by Cascade Brewery in 2002. What made it unique? It used unkilled hops flowers. It was produced by hand after a union strike. It was non-alcoholic after the local government passed a temporary ban on all alcohol sales. Or, due to an abnormal snow season, most crops failed, resulting in limited produce. I don't think it was that one.
I must say the non-alcoholic part. The number 3, I believe it was.
I'm going with the flowers one. Ooh, it was the flowers one.
Ah, come on.
I got it in just in time before it showed me the answer.
Yeah, okay, Pat. I can't see the monitor. You could be cheating, bro.
No, I'm being honest.
I trust you, man.
I got it in a quarter of a second before it showed me the answer.
But come on, Pat's beating me in a beer quiz, though.
And I don't even drink beer.
Exactly.
So I was lucky enough to obtain a sample of the limited range of First Harvest beer, which was based on the original recipe. The brew is still created, however, it features a different name each season. So yeah, it uses unkilled hops flowers. Next question. According to the Duchy of Bayern's Reinheitsgebot beer purity law of 1516, only 3 ingredients can be put in beer. Which of the following cannot be used in the making of beer? Hops, rice, barley, or water? According to the Duchy of Bayern's Reinheitsgebot beer purity law, only 3 ingredients can be put in beer. Which of the following cannot be put in the making of beer? Hops, rice, barley, or water?
I feel like it's rice.
I feel like it's rice as well. That's what I'm going with.
Hops. I'm pretty sure there's like some type of wheat, which would be barley.
Yep, we were both right.
There we
rice
go.
is the answer.
Like, how would they not have water in there?
Yeah, you gotta have water in
exactly,
beer.
Right? That's all I'm saying. Like, water? Like, come on, bro.
Reinheitsgebot allowed only water, barley, and hops. The active ingredient yeast was not mentioned, as most brewers relied on wild yeast in open vats. The Reinheitsgebot continued to be law of not only Bayern but also German after unification in 1871. This destroyed many local specialties from the north of Germany and led to the virtual monopoly of Pilsners in the north of Germany. It has also since been replaced by the similarly written Provisional German Beer Law of 1993. Next question. The famous Irish brewing company Guinness produces and exports a non-alcoholic beer. What is its name? Caliber, Harp, Claster, or Buckler? So the famous Irish brewing company Guinness produces and exports a non-alcoholic beer. What is its name? Caliber, Harp, Claster, or Buckler?
I'm going to go with Caliber.
I'm going with Caliber as well. That's the one that sounds familiar to me.
It sounds familiar to me as well. It's the only reason why I picked it, too.
So a few seconds left to lock in your answers for those of us who are playing along at home. And the answer is Caliber. We got it.
Hey, there we go, Pat.
It's starting to make a comeback here.
A little bit. I think you still got one on me, though, so you're beating me.
Caliber is technically a pale lager. The Guinness Brewing Company was purchased by Diageo, an international company, in 1997, but retains its Irish branding. Question 9 of 10. This popular Ohio brewery brews such beers as Edmund Fitzgerald Porter, Commodore Perry IPA, and Burning River Pale Ale. Is it the Great Black Swamp Brewing Company, the Great Lakes Brewing Company, Ohio Brewing Company, or Buckeye Lake Brewery? I have no idea.
And neither do I, but since it's in Ohio, I'll go ahead and say the Buckeye Lake. The Buckeye. What was it? The Buckeye State one?
Buckeye Lake Brewery.
Buckeye Lake. I'll go ahead and go with that one then.
I'm not going to go with that one because that Buckeye and Lake sounds weird together. I'm going with Great Lakes Brewing Company.
All right.
Hey, I got it.
Of course. I was thinking about that one at first, but I heard Buckeye and went with it.
I've never heard Buckeye and Lake used.
That is true. Like I didn't hear the Lake part until after I locked in my answer, and I'm like, I don't want to like revert my answer, so I stuck with it.
Yeah, it's usually Buckeye State instead of Buckeye
That's what I
Lake.
thought it was
Yeah.
at first. Well, that's why I said Buckeye State, and you said Buckeye Lake. I'm like, well, I already said it, so I'm not gonna retract.
Well, I mean, you could change it.
I'm
as
not
long
going
as,
to though, man.
All right,
I'll stick with it. You got the lead. I think you won this round. I'll give it to you.
Great Lakes is a brewery and brew pub in Cleveland, Ohio. It was first brew pub and microbrewery in Ohio. In 2011, it was the 18th largest craft brewery and 27th largest overall brewery in the U.S. We toured their impeccable facility in Cleveland, sampled their beers, and made some fine memories. Last question. Which product made itself from cereal was also used in the early production of beer in Mesopotamia? Haggis, cheese, butter, or bread? Which product made itself from cereal was also used in the early production of beer in Mesopotamia? Haggis, cheese, butter, or bread?
I mean, I feel like
made itself from cereal. That's
but like bread's not in cereal though, really, is it?
Not to my knowledge.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and go with bread because I feel
was
like that's the
gonna
most
say
like
bread
that's like
is-
the closest thing to like that would be in there. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead with bread, but I don't know like
But-
bread and cereal though.
But maybe haggis? I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say bread.
Yeah, we both got it. It was bread.
Alrighty.
So I was torn between bread and haggis. I went.
I didn't know what
bread.
haggis was, so I went ahead with to my mind the safe option.
Yeah. Along from using barley in its grain form in making beer, bread made from barley was also quite commonly used in the manufacture of early beer in the early civilizations that sprang up around the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. No doubt this added a different flavor to the beverage. A 3,900-year-old copy of an ancient poem dedicated to the goddess Ninkasi, the deity responsible for beer production, gives a glowing testimony to this barley bread drink. A slight daub of strawberry jam would have it topped off nicely as well, don't you think? That actually sounds pretty damn good. I had to catch myself there. Is damn okay on the air? Yeah. All right, so let's see here. We're going to go now with, let's see here. I can't do that because I'm not a member. I can't do that quiz. The mixed hourly game. No, I can't do that one either. Hang on. Let's try and find one here. Here we go. The daily game. Start off your day with some trivia. So this is kind of like a mix. So
All right.
There's no specific theme to it. I don't know what it is, so
You
neither
probably
of us.
do. You're probably
I
lying.
don't.
You probably took it before.
I did not.
I'm just messing with you. All right, Pat, let's hop right into it, man.
So none of us have an advantage in this one. Wants me to register for that one too. What
We should
the
just
heck?
register at this rate, man. We use it every Tuesday.
Yeah, really. Why do they require registration on a lot of these quizzes here? Here we go. Television. So this hour's question, television, blah blah blah. Okay. Oh, they don't give time responses. So this is going to be like we're going to have to answer them all and then submit our answer and see how many we got. So we'll do it like that. So this is television. Question number 1. TV has given us several shows with different approaches to the Western genre, but which one of these TV series does not take place in the Midwest during the late 1800s? Dynasty, Little House on the Prairie, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, or Deadwood? So TV has given us several shows with different approaches to the Western genre, but which one of these TV series does not take place in the Midwest during the late 1800s? Dynasty, Little House on the Prairie, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, or Deadwood?
I'm going to go ahead and go with Deadwood on this one. I don't think Deadwood sounds like something that'd be like a Midwestern thing.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that one. All right, so question 2. If you were watching television...
Which one did you pick, Pat?
I went with Deadwood as well.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
If you were watching television in the 50s, you might have heard, "Hey kids, what time is it?" What would be your response? It's Howdy Doody time. It's time for Romper Room. It's time for Yogi Bear. It's the Mighty House Hour.
I'm going to go with Howdy Doody.
I'm going Howdy Doody as well, because that sounds familiar to me.
I swear, like, if I look at it, I will remember what it is. Like, obviously, I wasn't born in the 50s, but I've seen it somewhere.
All right, number 3, and like I said, we'll get the answers after we answer all of the questions.
Yep.
This one's not timed. What business magnate is the face of the U.S. reality TV show The Apprentice? Henry Ford, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Steve Jobs. I believe it's Donald Trump.
Yeah, I've seen the show. I'm going with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I definitely think it was Donald Trump. Question 4. Who was not a regular cast member of the TV show Friends? Matthew Perry, Jennifer Aniston, Matt LeBlanc, or Matt Dillon? I'm not familiar with Friends all that much.
I'm going to go with Matt Dillon.
All right. I'm going to go take the other Matt and go Matt LeBlanc on this one. Just for shiggles.
Yeah, right.
What occupations did Felix and Oscar have which allowed them to afford a spacious Park Avenue apartment on The Odd Couple? Photographer and sports writer, movie actor and boxer, TV chef and stand-up comic, singer and drummer. So The Odd Couple. I'm going to go movie actor and boxer.
Can you repeat the answers again?
Photographer and sports writer, movie actor and boxer, TV chef and stand-up comic, and singer and drummer. So which occupations did Felix and Oscar have which allowed them to afford a spacious Park Avenue apartment?
I'm going to go ahead and hit a shot in the dark here. TV chef and comic.
Okay. Actually, photographer and sports writer also sounds like a plausible answer as well. This is, I'm going to stick with movie actor and boxer on this one.
All right.
And you're going TV chef and stand-up comic?
Yep.
Next one. What spooky TV comedy first appeared in 1964 featuring a married couple, Gomez and Morticia, with their children, Pugsley and Wednesday, Uncle Fester, Lurch, and Cousin It? Oh, if you don't know this, you don't know scary movies. Is it Bewitched, The Addams Family, The Brady Bunch, or All in the Family?
What was the question again?
What spooky TV comedy first appeared in 1964 featuring a married couple, Gomez and Morticia, with their children, Pugsley and Wednesday, Uncle Fester, Lurch, and Cousin It?
You know,
you don't know?
I think it's the Addams Family, but
I'm going with the Addams Family as well.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on.
I was keeping quiet because I know this one.
Yeah, I was thinking it was the Addams Family. It sounded familiar, but at the same time, I wasn't 100% sure.
I'm 100% sure because of Wednesday and Cousin It.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on, man.
What lighthearted detective drama aired on the ABC network from 1979 to 1984 and featured a rich married couple played by Robert Wagner and Stephanie Powers, who solved crimes along with Max, their live-in assistant? Heart to Heart, SWAT, MacGyver, or Charlie's Angels? What lighthearted detective drama aired on the ABC network from 1979 to 1984 and featured a rich married couple played by Robert Wagner, or Wagner, depending on how you want to pronounce it, Stephanie Powers, who solved crimes along with Max, their live-in assistant? Is it Heart to Heart, SWAT, MacGyver, or Charlie's Angels?
Do you know this one?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna go. I don't know either, but I'm gonna go with MacGyver.
You're going with MacGyver. Gosh, this is a tough one. I'm going Heart to Heart on this one.
Okay.
considering lighthearted detective drama. And
Okay, yeah.
Robert and Stephanie, which is a married
Putting
couple.
two and two together, I hear you.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Goldie Hawn, Lily Tomlin, and Ruth Buzzy were entertaining comediness in which 1960s NBC variety show? That's a weird word. Comediness.
Maybe they meant to put comedians.
Yeah. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, The Ed Sullivan Show, Shindig, or Hullabaloo. So Goldie Hawn, Lily Tomlin, and Ruth Buzzy were entertaining comedians in which 1960s NBC variety show? Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, The Ed Sullivan Show, Shindig, or Hullabaloo?
I'm just going to go ahead and go with the first one because I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about that one either. I'm going Hullabaloo on this one.
Okay.
Just random guess. Number 9, in 2018, Hulu debuted the show Castle Rock, based on the universe created by what American horror writer? Clive Barker, Joe Hill, Stephen King, or Shirley Jackson?
I'll go with the one horror writer I know, Stephen
King. That's who I'm going with, too. Probably not the answer because of Hulu, but who knows?
I never know. Stephen King's done a lot.
Yeah. And finally, number 10, what was the name of the Lone Ranger's horse? Was it Goldie, Lead, Moonshine, or Silver? So what was the name of the Lone Ranger's horse? Goldie, Lead, Moonshine, or Silver? I can't remember.
I'm going to go with Silver on this one.
I'm going Goldie, but all right.
All right, I have all mine typed up here, so I ain't cheating on these.
First one, TV has given us several shows with different approaches to the Western genre, but which one of these TV series does not take place in the Midwest or in the late 1800s? The answer was Dynasty. We both got that one wrong. If you were watching television in the 50s, you might have heard, "Hey kids, what time is it?" The correct answer, Howdy Doody Time.
Hey,
we both got that one.
Nice. I knew that one. I just didn't want to be 100% and sound like an idiot.
I was pretty certain on that one, too.
Yeah.
What business magnate is the face of the U.S. reality TV show The Apprentice? The answer is Donald Trump. We got that one.
I used to watch that one with my grandparents like years ago, back when I actually watched television. So I remember that one.
Who was not a regular cast member of the TV show Friends? You got that one.
Hey,
Matt
there we
Dillon.
Go. I'll take it.
What occupations did Felix and Oscar have, which allowed them to afford a spacious Park Avenue apartment on The Odd Couple? We both got that one wrong, and I should have changed my answer.
It was journalist.
It was photographer and sports writer. Yeah.
Dang.
What spooky TV comedy first appeared in 1964, featuring a married couple, Gomez and Morticia, with their children Pugsley and Wednesday, Uncle Fester, Lurch, and Cousin It? It's The Addams Family.
Hey, there we
both
go.
got that one.
Nice.
Next one. What lighthearted detective drama aired on the ABC network from 1979 to 1984 and featured a rich married couple played by Robert Wagner and Stephanie Powers, who solved crimes along with Max, their live-in assistant? I got that one. It was Heart to Heart.
Ah, man, come on. You put two and two together, so good work by you. MacGyver just sounded cool. I was like, I know I've heard of MacGyver before, and I just threw it on there. Okay.
Goldie Hawn, Lily Tomlin, and Ruth Buzzy were entertaining comedians in which 1960s NBC's variety show? You got that one. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In.
I think that's a good guess because I had absolutely no clue.
In 2018, Hulu debuted the show Castle Rock, based on a universe created by what American horror writer? We both got that one. Stephen King.
Hey, yeah, right. Stephen King's the GOAT.
And finally, what was the name of the Lone Ranger's horse? You got that one. It was Silver.
How do I do like really good on this one when I guessed half these, and yet on the beer one I just like butchered it? And that's like that's how trivia goes, though, man.
All right, count up your euros and let's see who won.
I think I got 11, unless I count.
Oh, we're tied, bro. We're tied. We're gonna have to do sudden death.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 11. Yep,
all right,
sure.
We're gonna have to do sudden death.
All right,
we're
Patrick.
tied. Sudden death is brought to you by Quiz Balls. So we're gonna do the quiz builder because I'm not gonna know, you're not gonna know what questions they're gonna throw at us. Here we go. It did not build a quiz like I thought it would.
Man.
Let's try this
Killed
again.
the moment, man.
Let's try this again. Here we go. Complete the title of the 1990 Grammy-winning Phil Collins track, Another Day in what? Paradise, Peace, Heaven, or Love?
Paradise.
I'm going Paradise as well. The answer is Paradise.
There we go.
So we're still on board here. Donham was the Roman name for which English town? This one's not a multiple choice.
I have
no idea. I don't know either.
Skip it.
Let's skip it. Which B word is an oily substance extracted from a variety of Seville orange, which is used in cosmetics and as a flavoring in Earl Grey tea? A flavoring in Earl Grey tea. I have no idea.
Man, we need the multiple choice ones because I don't know.
Okay, let's do this one. In what year was Bruce Nauman born? 1941, 1921, 1961, or 1991?
Go 41.
You're going to go 41? Bruce Nauman. Yeah, I'm going 41 as well. That's the only one that makes sense. Yep, 41.
All right, man.
We all got that one.
We're still tied, man.
What are the sand pits called on a golf course? Dunkers, bunkers, bankers, or sunkers?
Bunker.
It's bunkers, yeah. I'm going bunkers as well. Yep. All right. I have to generate more questions.
Man, we're neck and neck, man. This is a good one. This is a good Trivia Tuesday. I like this.
3 planets in the solar system have ring systems.
Oh, gosh.
Saturn, Uranus, and what? Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, or Mercury?
I am terrible with the planets. I'm going Neptune, though.
I'm going Neptune as well. That's the one that comes to my mind. We are both wrong. It was Jupiter.
Jupiter has rings around it?
I didn't know either. That is crazy.
I'm looking up a picture right now. Go ahead and go with the next one.
Lisa Left Eye Lopes and Tion Watkins were members of which group? Eternal, All Saints, Spice Girls, or TLC?
Can you repeat the question?
Lisa Left Eye Lopes and Tion Watkins were members of which group? Eternal, All Saints, Spice Girls, or TLC?
Spice Girls.
I'm going Spice Girls as well. They sound familiar to me. No, it was TLC.
Man, come on, pal. One of us has to win.
Which of these dwarf planets was originally considered the 9th planet of the solar system? Halima, Makemake, Ceres, or Pluto?
Pluto.
It was Pluto, I think. Yeah, Pluto, definitely. Which nationality was Max Beckmann?
Oh, gosh.
French, Dutch, Italian, or German? Which nationality was Max Beckmann? French, Dutch, Italian, or German?
I'm going to go Dutch.
I'm going Italian on this one. The answer is German. We're both wrong again.
Jeez, we're still tied.
All right. We're starting to run out of time here.
I know.
Who said, "That don't impress me much" in 1999? Madonna, Jennifer Rush, Shania Twain, or Sheryl Crow? I'm going Shania Twain on this one.
I'm going to go Crow.
You're going Crow? The answer was Shania Twain.
F word.
I got it.
On. All right, pal. I'll let you have the win this week because last week I kind of screwed you over and did a sports quiz.
Yeah,
so
you did.
That was fun, though. Good job, Pat. You deserve
nice.
it.
Final check of the weather before we go on the Wright Morning Show. It is mostly cloudy and 72 degrees. The wind is coming from the north-northwest at 10 miles per hour. Humidity is 50%. Dew point 52 degrees. Visibility 10 miles. Air quality is good. It's going to be mostly cloudy up until 2 p.m., and then the clouds are going to clear out. Then for most of the day, the temperatures are going to rise up to the mid-70s by 12. It's going to approach 79 degrees, which is going to be our max today at 3 p.m. And it's going to start cooling off as we approach 5 and 6 p.m. So that is our forecast, and that concludes the Wright Morning Show as well. Thank you, Scotty, for being on the show today.
As always, man. I probably won't be on tomorrow, but, I'll be back.
All right. And thank you for those of you who are listening for making us a part of your morning, and we will see you back again tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on WW.